Oh, this episode. The first thing I would like to say is that I take back what I said about me being happy Tahno lost his waterbending. Because when I saw him talking to Korra, it just made me so sad that I started to tear bend. It was just too much for me to handle. And then I looked at Korra, and she just gave me so much hope. And then I started to tear bend even more. In light of information from this episode, I would like to say that this video is brought to you by Cabbage Corp, Republic City's most trusted name in technology for over 50 years. And also, before you go to work, make sure to pick up your favorite flavor of Flame Yo noodles. I'm just playing. Yeah, let's go ahead and dive into this episode. Again, spoilers, and then also some predictions that are, turning up in the head of mine. When the episode started, I was like, yes, I called it. I have the gift of foresight. Amon, Cabbage Corp, Amon. The equation equals me. But as the episode progressed, it turned out it was a frame job, and Cabbage Corp is not involved with Amon, at least not in this episode. I think they're just not involved, period, because you probably wouldn't frame someone that would, put them on the trail of that. So, yeah, I don't know. I want to completely leave out Cabbage Corp, but I'm still suspicious, even though I still love Cabbage Corp. I do love them. They're sponsoring my video. I knew Amon had a friend with deep pockets. Being that Cabbage Corp was in technology, I thought it was them, but it looks like it's Hiroshi Sato. Hiroshi Sato is fully backing the equalist movement and spending a lot of his money doing so. And his motive, unfortunately, you have to sympathize with it, because it's, if someone took my wife away, I would be very angry. The only problem is he's attacking Korra, and although she's the Avatar, she is still a kid. Like, she's the same age, almost the same age as Asami, if I'm not mistaken. So would he be attacking his daughter if she was a bender? You don't attack kids, I don't care if the kid can throw fire at you, slice you in half with water bending, and, bury you alive. You just don't attack kids. It doesn't bode well for the outcome that you want to have happen. Not to mention, these people are, they're born with this ability. It's not something that they're, going to someone like, make me this so I can, be evil to everyone. And I'm starting to get the suspicion, though, that there is an evil firebender on the loose, and all these deaths by firebender are connected, because we have Bo and Mako, Asami and her father, and then Amon's claim of a firebender taking his family and his face away from him. So I'm like, if they're not connected, then we need to get some information about it. Because I'm like, can we get a name, at least 2 names, because there's like 3 different cases. Like, we get 2 names and we know they're all not connected, but even still, I'm just like, there has to be some correlation. Now, also, let's go ahead and talk about how many enemies Korra is getting. She has, for a second there, I thought it was going to be Asami in this episode, and Mako. Ooh, okay, I'm not gonna get on it. My Korra. But she has Hiroshi Sato now, and whoever's behind him, he has a lot of money. Money makes people crazy. Amon, the chi blockers, like, all of them will attack her on sight. But we have also been introduced to another formidable opponent for Korra, Makeup. No, I'm just playing. Although this episode, the Makeup did defeat her. That was not the main point of the episode. It was definitely finding out who was behind the funding for Amon. And again, I don't like Amon, and I don't really agree with his methods, but Hiroshi Sato, like, him and his daughter, they both say that they lost their mother and wife, so it's easier to believe their story. Amon, I'm sorry, he's like the only one, like, no one's confirmed that this story is true for him, so I don't believe it, but I'm going to move on. I am going to take a second and break from the serious stuff. Let's talk about just raise your hand if the Sato Mansion has become your new dream house. That's the first one. Number two, clap twice if you think Bolin is getting more and more hilarious. His little puppet Pabu things are just too hilarious. And then the third thing that we're going to take a break and talk about is, yeah, I want to need you to blink twice if you want to marry Ling Beifong. She's already taken. You can still blink, but I would just like to let you know that she is my betrothed, and I'm just in love with her. She's just amazing. And speaking of her, she proves in this episode that she is Toph's daughter. Like, she did the blind bandit, the blind thing with the foot and the earth bending. It was just, I was so happy at that point. It was so amazing. In this episode, though, we see that there's a lot of people that are working with Amon, and it's going to be extremely difficult because if I was a non-bender, being that I'm a water bender, I don't know how I would be able to take it if I didn't have my water bending. So I might be like, you know what? Let me take out a couple people, make them like me. The only thing is they're living in this world that was built by benders. Like, this is a city that was built by benders. So I'm just like, do they see that? I'm pretty sure anger and everything is clouding their judgment. But I don't know. If I was in the Avatar world, I would be a waterbender. But if I wasn't, I might, agree with some of the sentiments of the non-benders. The only thing is you could take a better stand than being a terrorist. Let's talk about the fight. The fight. Now, before I said, I just knew that dude that gave them that information was leading them to a trap. I just knew it. I'm just like, it's too convenient. A lot of things in these episodes, I'm like, they're too convenient. But some things are just there, and then some things are like, you're like, okay, this is going to lead to something. And when they get down there, okay, what is the deal with the platinum? I just at that point I wanted Toph to appear. I wanted her to like poof when he said her name. Like, I bet your mom can't bend this metal. What? I wanted her to be like, like just knock down the platinum. Like, I do know he said it's a really pure metal, but it's still a rock, and so I'm pretty sure they can still bend it. It's just going to take a little more concentration. But the robots Hiroshi Sato built, which I'm like, dude, I thought she built cars. Apparently, he's been hiding some of that intelligence. But the robots were, like, really awesome. I hate when they give the enemies awesome things. Like, stop doing that. I want to operate one of those robots. It's just the fight scene. Like, Lynn jumps on one of the robots, and she's, like, Edward Scissorhandsing it, and just, like, she's mean. Like, I would not like to be on Lynn's bad side. Like, not in the slightest bit. I'm anxious to see, like, she says that she's gonna pursue Amon outside the law. I'm like, you're already, like, tough. She's gonna be bringing down buildings if she's not, governed by the law. Like, I think she's about to, tear some stuff up. Oh! Wait a second. I totally forgot to mention Tenzin in his airbending. Whoa, total boss at it. Like the air wheel thing that he was like scooting on is just he was pretty awesome this episode too. Okay, now back to your regularly scheduled program. Now let's go ahead and talk Asami for a second here. Which she's gorgeous. I think she's fine. Did she join Team Avatar? This episode has me conflicted. I don't know whether I want the benders to lose their bending because, a lot of things, which, when you think about it, the whole entire world is void of airbending, basically, except for Tenzin and his kids. So if you think about that, it's like, and then also I'm conflicted. I feel like Asami figured out how to work that glove a little too easily. I know I'm probably going to get some people that are like, no, you didn't even follow me out. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's simple mechanism, which the gloves are basically tasers. They would be an equivalent of a taser in our world. I thought she worked it too easily, and I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little too paranoid about it, but if she is completely, on Team Avatar. I'm totally excited about it because she was awesome. She took out the lightning rod dude within like 3 moves. That was pretty. She's a bad chick. She's a bad chick. Um, the last person I want to talk about who is bothering me, I do not like, is Tarlock. I just I oh gosh. First of all, he's like framing people and like manipulating. He has some stuff in his head that he wants to come forward, and he's turning all these wheels, making all these moves to make it happen. I don't know what he plans to do with the police force, but I don't think it's not gonna bode well for Republic City. All these people have all these agendas for it. All these people want to do things for it. Roshi and Amon want to rid the city of benders. Tarlock looks like he wants to take power over the council and over the police force. And the other council members, fire them. They only follow Tarlock. It's ridiculous. It's just, there's going to be like 3 wars because you're going to have to deal with Amon at some point. And then Hiroshi, I'm pretty sure, is going to flee. You're going to have to deal with him at some point. And then Tarlock at some point. It's just like, what is going to happen to Republic City? It's going to crumble if all these people have all these agendas and it's just terrible. It's getting more and more. I cannot wait to see it unfold. So yeah, YouTube. The last thing I'm gonna say is I've reached a revelation in my life, and I must make it public. I currently am shipping Masami more than I ship my Korra. It just happened one day. I just woke up and said, "Psych." That is not true. Makora for the win. Did I mention I'm an incurable prankster? Bye, YouTube.